Hi, how you guys doing? My name is Rodney Peak. I am the owner and creator of Prodigy Search software. And today I'm going to show you how to use the My Free Score Now report. All right, that is, I'm going to show you how to retrieve it the right way so you can actually utilize it inside the Prodigy software. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to My Free Score Now site, type in your username, type in your password, which I've already done these things. If you want to remember on your computer, do that. And you just simply log in. And once you log in, then one of the first things you want to do, you can scroll down and look at it if you want to. I don't personally do that. I go straight here. This little box right here in the right hand corner. I go here and I scroll down to where it says 3B report and scores. That's what I want. 3B report and scores. I click that. And then right here, if I even look at the report, me personally, I come right here where it says classic view. Switch to classic view. Because you want to make sure you're on classic view. Switch to classic view. And now here's the report you want. And then I'm going to go back up here. All I'm going to do now is hit right click where it says view report source. Click on that. That's going to bring you to your HTML page. From right here, when you're on your HTML page, anywhere in here, you can sit and just put your mouse somewhere. Now hit the control button and hit A. That makes it select all. So again, control A to select all. And then while you're still holding the control down, hit the C. The control C will be copy all selected. Okay. So again, to do it again, you bring your mouse anywhere in here. Don't really matter where. You can click in here next to you're in here if you want to, like I just did. Don't matter. Hit control A. Everything should go blue because all you're doing is selecting everything. And you hit this control C, it copies everything. Now your code has been copied. And now you simply go back to your Prodigy account under the client name. I can click here and go in there. I'll go right here to edit. But what I want to do now, I want to upload the report. I can go here and do it if I want to. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to do it right here. This is the easiest way. The easiest way right here, you go to upload report. Click there. And so make sure my score is picked there. And then hit Control V to paste the report. Now the report's pasted in there. Now actually, I'm gonna tell you what I like to do first. I'm gonna get it out of here. What I like to do first, before I go in here at all, I like to hit Control A and then hit back. I hit Control A, it deletes everything. That makes sure everything's deleted. I know that. Now, since I know it's empty for sure, now I hit Control V to paste everything. And then I go down here to my process HTML. I click that. And once I'm convinced the code is good to go or it looks good, it looks good nice in there, it won't look as perfect as you think it is, but it's okay. Hit save. Report has been processed, saved. Boom, good to go. Now, if I was the client, I can go to the work area. Any work area, don't matter which one it is, and go to tax. Now, I'm going to show you the one I prefer to use. The one I think is the best one to use is right here, attack number 1. It comes to automatically pick the client report, that's the only one in there. And I like to pick the second one here, which is MPEC. This is the best tagging software by far, in my opinion at least. Tag number 1. Now you're going to have these little red, green, and blue box options here. The red means you're not tagging the item at all. The green means you are tagging the item, and you're tagging it separately from all other items. The blue means you're tagging them all the items, but you're tagging the items combined, okay? So let's say I had them all blue. In this case, I'm making all the items on one set of letters for the TCRAs. The TCRAs is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience, just like the little comment says there, right? If I go here to green, that means I'm attacking separately. So if I click green here, I'm creating 3 different letters. But these 3 letters will be only for the person identifiers, nothing else. One person identifier letter for TransUnion, one person identifier letter for Equifax, one person identifier letter for Experian. And likewise, if I choose the student loan charge-off collections, I'll have 3 more letters created. These 3 letters will also be TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, but the student loan charge-off will be the only thing on there. There won't be no other charges, just student loan charge-offs. If I unclick that, and I click, say, this one here, all other charge-offs, it's going to be every charge-off in the system except for medical and student loans. So it won't include medical and student loan charge-offs in this case, okay, on this right middle attack. It includes every other kind, such as repossessions, mortgages, timeshares, etc., payday loans, etc. All those things typically go under charge-off and collections, and so on and so on. It's pretty much consistent all the way out. So if you select a student loan, you attack it separately. You select the medical separately. You select the other, and select everything else that's not medical and student loan, okay? Just so you know. But on this first attack, I like to have everything be blue. That way I know it is only going to the C bureau or the T bureaus, which is TransUnion, Equifax, and TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. By default, we have the 3 here. So long as there's not more than 50 items of negativity on there, it'll stay 3. Obviously, if you have, say, 51 or more negative items, you have a potential for a second set of letters. So this right here will create 3 letters, but if there's more negative items than what you have set right here, then it will create another set of the letters, another 3. So if let's say you have 75 negative items, right? There's a possibility to have up to six of the TCRA letters, okay? Does not mean you will. These are maximums. Now, I can set that to what I want to, right? You can set it to boom, boom, all the way down to unlimited. Whatever you want to do. Obviously, the lower the number it is, right here on number 1, the lower the number 1 is, then the lower the number that number 1 is the most efficient it is. Okay, the lower the number, the more efficient. The higher the number here, the more efficient. So if I put unlimited here, this is the most efficient way. That means you're just trying to get out there. It means everything will be included on these 3 letters, no matter how big it is. So no matter how big it is, everything will be included. Now, if I limit here to 100, then it gives me up to 100 items at maximum to this, okay? So unlimited means you have maximum. And as I lower this number here, it gets more effective focus and lesser efficient. So as I go up, it gets lesser efficient, but more effective focus, okay? Just because you only pick 1 item here does not mean it's going to be effective. It's probably going to be pretty damn effective, though, just so you know. But if you pick 1 here, and this report has 35 negative items on there, you got 3 letters with 1 item on here. The most that you're going to create is 3 letters. The most you're going to have is 3 times 1, 3 items attack. Be careful how you do that. Make sure you have enough set there. So if you don't have it set enough, you won't be able to do it. What I like to do with my first attack is set unlimited here. That way I know it's maximum efficient, okay? I put 0 here and 0 because I don't want these letters because, again, that's not very efficient. Do that. Now, if you want to be more effective focus, you can increase that. My damn dog's barking. I apologize. And you hit next. Now it's going to analyze the report for the first time. And it's going to give you what it thinks is not matching. So here it's saying the boxes 2, 26, 37, 40, 41, and 44. Those content boxes has accounts or items that do not have matching data reporters with the creditor contact in the very bottom. They may be correct, they may be accurate, but maybe somehow it's not exact in matches. Like maybe the account has Bank of America listed at the account level, at the content box level, but maybe in the creditor contact information, it shows BOA or BK of America or BK of America or Bank of America or whatever, right? Any combination that's not exactly the same. Same thing with all the other boxes, all right? That's what that means. Me personally, I just hit OK because if you do not do anything, the software's going to leave it blank with a highlighted yellow. Here, it didn't put the word highlight yellow, but it is. It's going to be in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to show where the destination should have been put there, but it wasn't because they didn't know where to put there. It's going to be blank with 3 lines that are yellow. Very highlighted. That way you cannot make a mistake and the software does not make a mistake. That's what it's going to do, okay? So again, if you click here, this is the most efficient way. You're just trying to get things out, right? But you understand it's going to create letters where the upper right-hand corner is not going to show the data for them because they don't have it, right? Hit OK here. Now, for this client here, if I hit attack here, boom, it's going to create the letters. Now, if I wanted to send the letters to a Prodigy print and mailing service, right? I would click here. The 4 providers is Kate O'Graden, Nariah Sins, Brent Bradford, and Chef Schuler. Multiple of these may or may not include faxing as well. If they do, it might be at extra cost, so understand. Now, Kate O'Graden, Nariah Sins, Brent Bradford, and Chef Schuler have all been vetted to be excellent in this service. They're good providers. I'm not going to give a favorite to anyone on, but just understand they're here for a reason, okay? They're great services, right? They all do provide. If you select right here, you're sending the letters also to your work area, whichever work area you're in. If you're in the epic work area, it goes there. If you're in a static work area, it goes there. In advanced work area, it goes there. Pretty soon, we're going to have only one work area, so to go there, it won't be no problem. I'll be getting rid of all these 3 and having one combined, just so you know. You don't want to ever uncheck that. You want to leave it that way. That way, it always goes to your dashboard or to your work area no matter what. So you have it no matter what. Now, if you want your client to see the letters and they have their client portal, then this will be the case right here. You click here, the client, as soon as you hit generate, it automatically sends it to the client portal. If you have an affiliate, aka an employee, right? If you have an affiliate, aka an employee, it automatically sends it to them as well. If you're an outsourcer, you're sending it to the outsourcer portal, okay? The outsourcer portal is where you are the outsourcer and you're going to be sending the tax you created to wherever it is, whoever sent it to you. For example, let's say you have a mortgage company that's sending you clients, right? You're babysitting their clients. You're doing their clients for you, right? So what you're doing, you're going to create the letters. The letters automatically get sent to them. They can download them. They can print them out, or you can do it on your site if you want to, right? However you want. Or maybe they just want them for their own records. Who knows, right? Again, this is sent to somebody where you are doing the report for. It's a company that you are the outsourcer doing the work for them. If you send it here, you're sending it to your employees, or you're sending it to outside outsourcers that's doing work for you. For example, KP Hero, Kenzel Pearson, he is an outsourcer. If he wanted to do your file, he would need your affiliate portal, aka your employee link. He would come in through your affiliate portal link, and then he would receive your letters from your client that you do using your GAs. That's the ethical way of doing it, and there's no problems with that at all. However, this is if you want to be an outsourcer yourself. Okay? Just so you understand. If you're an outsourcer for Prodigy, the limitation on this is that you cannot be an outsourcer for another Prodigy user. You can be an affiliate to another Prodigy user. So let's say let's say for example in KP Hero or Kenzel Pearson's situation, what he should be doing, and I'm pretty sure he's doing, what he should be doing is that he's sending people his affiliate link, or I'm sorry, he having his clients, whoever his CROs are, they're logging into Prodigy and they're sending him his their Prodigy affiliate link. He signs up as a Prodigy affiliate to them. That means he's like an employee for them. He's actually not an employee. He's actually an outsourcer for them. He's doing outsourcing work, but he's using their GAs. That CRO will give him full permissions or whatever permission they want to, and he can do the same thing. So now what happens is KP will receive those letters through his portal for that user that's in Prodigy. Now, the reason why that's important is because it's not stealing from Prodigy. It's allowing KP to serve Prodigy users, and it does not injure Prodigy at all. And Prodigy is going to promote KP for this matter. We want that. We want outsourcing in our software. What we don't want is outsourcers going here and taking up all the water and absorbing all of this out of Prodigy. It injures Prodigy that way. So if you're a CRO now and you want to be an outsourcer, there is no problem. You can be an outsourcer. However, anyone that's inside Prodigy or has been inside Prodigy or is related to Prodigy in any way, shape, or form, those people you should not be using the outsource portal for. You should be using their affiliate link that they send to you. In other words, you should be asking them to send you their affiliate link. You sign up under there, you register under that, and then you become their employee, per se. You're actually in a outsource where you're going in there as an outside employee doing the work for them, okay? Just so you know. Now, again, if you want to send it to your Prodigy Print and Mail Service, you choose one of these buttons right here. Now, if you select one of these buttons, it's going to have a pop-up that you got to fill out. Okay, I'm going to show you an example. So if I select Kate O'Grady here, for example, you got to fill all these out to continue, okay? So I'm just going to do an example here. I'm going to say test here. So you automatically put your name and your username in Prodigy. That way they know what it is. Best email, I'm going to say here, test. Not real. That way she knows it's just testing. I'm not really actually doing it. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to send her notes. And I'm going to put a fake phone number here. All right. Hit continue. Now, okay, wants a Facebook username. What was it saying? Okay, I got to do that too. I'm going to say this is fake. So I'm going to put that in there. Oh, God. I don't know why I did all that. Fake for testing. Bye. Peak. All right. Now she's gonna get that. Now if it was a real thing, it would go to her, right? And she would get this up. Now once you hit generate, now she's selected, right? Now that she's selected, as soon as I hit generate, it automatically goes to her. I'm not gonna do that because now it will send it to her. I don't want to send it to her. All right. So I'm gonna leave it alone. That's all it is to it for right now. Now, if you wanted to see how this stuff looks, you've already analyzed it before. We've already done all that stuff on attack. Now you go right here. You see a little button right here? That tells you all your content boxes, right? And you can go to your content boxes. Every one of these are color coded. That's box number 1. You go here. That's box number. Well, gotta get on it. Go on here. Box 16, box 25, etc., etc., etc. All these are your content boxes. So we know this client has 47 things that are possible to be attacked. The only things being attacked are the things that are not green. Green items are not being attacked. The ones that are flashing are the ones that were indicated by that pop-up that said, hey, you know the things ain't matching. So the attackable items that are blinking are the items that have potentially negative items that are being attacked, yet they don't have exact and matching information from the account itself and the creditor content information. It may be the same creditor and stuff, maybe do this a different way, or something is just red flag, something has flagged Prodigy to say, hey, we're not too sure. And so we're not sure. All we want you to do is confirm it, okay? And if you don't do it, then Prodigy's gonna make a blank out of it, so you know. All these color codes mean something. The person identifiers are the purple color here. These little brown colors is the bad inquiries, etc., etc., etc. A bad inquiry is an inquiry that's either expired or associated with a negative item. Okay, just so you know. A good inquiry is an inquiry that's associated with a reported item that is not necessarily being attacked or negative. Right? That's what a good inquiry is. A best inquiry is one of the good inquiries that is most likely the inquiry that started that account. In other words, when you got a proof for that account, which one of these inquiries is likely the one that created the account? You obviously never want to attack the best inquiry because that makes no sense. That's your way of saying, hey, I didn't do this inquiry. I didn't actually apply for this credit card or this account or whatever it is, right? But yet you got a positive account. You don't want to do that. The good inquiries, if you know which ones are good, they're not the best one. Attacking them is fine because they didn't have nothing to do with the account being approved. If you're not too sure, just don't attack inquiries. The bad inquiries, there's no risk in attacking them because that item is not even reported, or if it's reported, it's reported as a negative item. If it's a negative item, you don't care about it being deleted, right? That's just so you know. Then you got the red, this color red, that's a charge off. You got a little purple here. Charge off is utter delinquency, like late. So that means it's a late that's not a student loan late or not a knuckle late, or it was undeterminable. So we called it an utter delinquency. And there's other color like this soft pink right here will be a charge off as well. And there's more color code, but they don't have the public records here and they have other things in here. Now, if I wanted to go to one of these content boxes, instead of me scrolling down, I could scroll down like this, but instead of me scrolling down, I just simply hover over and go where I want to. If let's say I want to go to a box number, like right here, like this box is blinking, let's go to box number 2. I'm automatically box number 2. Now, since it don't have a data firm to click here, and there's also not a template letter here or an associated letter here, this is not gonna have no effect on you at all. So if you didn't check this all, it would have no effect because no letter is being created for this. Okay, but if this had a letter selected, or if there was that button there was selected, if that button there was selected and anything picked here, or this, then a letter, the Prodigy is going to look for the information to be right. Okay, just so you know. If you don't have either one of these selected, you're good. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, and if you're not too sure, you can always go here. If you don't want to attack it, you can exclude, and Prodigy will not attack it. Or if you don't want to attack it, come over here and mark it as positive. If you mark it as positive, it automatically changes that, right? And then if you unmark it as positive, it goes back to what it was. So the bureaus will get an inquiry attack because they're going to consider that. Now, if you wanted to change that, all you have to do is go here and decide which one you want to change it to. Now, let's say I want to change that to something else. Let's say I want to do that. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but if you wanted to, you could. Let's say I want to use that, right? Then I select the two on there. I'm say I want to. Let's start here with an inquiry. I think it was. My eyesight's bad, so forgive me. I know there it is. Boom, right? And there you go. Good to go, right? And if I wanted to change it, that's the only option you got there. So good to go. All right, that's how you do it. But I personally wouldn't make no changes here unless you know what you're really, really doing. And a lot of people do know what they're doing, but I really wouldn't do it unless I had to. You can do this for every account you want to. I don't necessarily want to do that. All right. Now, what do all these right here mean? Right here, if you want to go to report, right here, you click on that. You can go to the person identifier inside the report. You click that, and you're automatically at the person identifiers in the report itself. If I want to go back, I go right here, and it takes me back to count one. I go wherever I want to, wherever box I want to. I want to teach this. If I want to go to the summary area on the report, which is not important for your attacking, but hey, maybe you're just curious, right? Click that, and lo and behold, you're back in the summary area, telling you right here, the summary of the items, how many accounts, and blah, 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 all you got right there, right? I go back to where I want to go. Let's say I want to go randomly here in number 21, right? This third thing here, if I want to go to the account history area, so take you to where it already account start off at. This is the very first account there, boom. And you can go down the line if you want to, right? Boom. That's your counts. So it goes to account. Let's say let's go here like I'm at 21 here, right? Let's say I was like say I want to go to inquiries information area, right? So take me to where the inquiries are listed, right there. Okay, those are the inquiries. This is the credit contact information. But I'm gonna go back up there. Go back and don't know which one I go to. Okay. So that was there was the inquiry we just came from there. Right here is going to the public information. If I click that, I'm straight at the public information. The user has no public information, so we won't have to worry about that. Going back up. All right. If I go here, it goes to creditor creditor information, contact information, right? This is where Prodigy pulls from. So if this stuff is not accurate, then the stuff in the letters won't be accurate, okay? That's because this is where Prodigy is the only place Prodigy pulls it from, unless the user themselves makes a decision. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, the Neighbor Federal Credit Union has two different addresses here. So Prodigy probably flagged these things, okay? Just because they don't know which one to pick. So if you have two Neighbor Federal Credit items up there, it's very well possible that it might say up there Navy Federal Credit Union exactly like that, or it might call it Navy Federal Credit Union all spread out, or who knows, right? Unless it's not exactly like this, it won't know to put that exact address on there. But since these both are the same, Prodigy's not gonna know which one to pick here. So you may have to make that choice, okay? Again, just because something pop up as you go to and check it out doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that the Prodigy say, hey, you know what? Which one is the right answer, right? Right here, got Navy Federal Credit Union again. So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4 credit contacts, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4 addresses, 4 different addresses for it. That I guarantee that's probably what's flagging it. Does not mean it's wrong. It just means what it is. Just so you know. How do you know which account is associated with which one of them, or all of them, right? That's what I'm saying. All right, going back up there. The last thing you got here is a little pin thing right here, right? The pin thing says, man, view in credit report. That means you want the item. So whatever item you're in, right? So that's person enterprise, right? Right there. Let's say I go right here. And I want to see what this data fact is. I go right here where it says view in credit report. Wow, I was wrong on that. But that's what it should do. I need to get my program over here. There, I was right. It's right there. It is right there. Okay, boom. Let's go back. Let's go with just a random number here, number 11 here. This right here is Wells Fargo. See where it takes me. Is that the Wells Fargo account? Yep, that's exactly what it is. Okay. So again, so I go to any random account here, no matter where it is. If I want to find out where that's at in the report, I go right here, this little button right here. Okay, that button there takes me to the exact account in there. Now, what these right here means, right here, you can include this item only in all 3 reports, or you can include it in just the report that it's actually reporting on. That's your call. Now, if you go back to the top where the parameters are, this is called your parameters page. All this right here, all this stuff right here that I'm circling here, all these are your parameters. This is your parameters page. By default, it's going to set up to include only in the reporting area. If you want to be maximum efficient, you do that. If you want to be maximum effective for whatever you're doing, you do this. Okay, that means it's included negativity on all reports, all the T bureaus at least, TransUnion Equifax Experience. It won't include on LexisNexis, SafeStream, what have you, unless it's actually in there or you put it or you assign it to it. But by default, it's this way. Okay, this will create more efficient. That means it's gonna be less letters and less sizes and whatever. Here, it's gonna create a more effective focus attack. Okay, you're gonna be putting more things in there and more information. Okay, but it's not gonna be more efficient. Just so you know, a lot of people like doing that to save money. If you're going to go by what Prodigy represents, now we've set it as default because that's what you guys want. Now, what I do here in my office, I have mine set for this because I want maximum efficiency as well as maximum effectiveness for what I'm doing. So I'm going to be as effective as I can for the efficiency I'm looking for. So during my attacks, I'm looking for max, the red, green, and blue boxes. I'm looking for max efficiency, but at the same time, I want maximum effectiveness for that efficiency. So I select whatever our selections are up here. Plus here I include 3. Only because I want all items attacked at all 3 bureaus at least 4 times. You do not have to do that because you may not want to do that or you may not be able to afford to do that. Whatever it is. But understand, if you do like this, if an item does come off, it won't be attacked 4 times. Okay, just so you know. Also, if an item is only on 1 report, you're not attacking it for all across the bureaus. So let's say a creditor has it reported at only Experian. It only show up on Experian. It won't have no effect on Equifax and Experian and TransUnion. So if the reporter decide to go report error, you don't have no roadblocks, right? I'm not suggesting that if you had this, it would stop it, but I am suggesting that there's more likelihood it would stop it than what this would be, right? But again, you gotta do what you gotta do for your office. For my office, I do it this way because I'm not worried about cost. I'm worried about efficiency, right? Now, put it back the way you got it here. Now, you can exclude everything. If you don't want to attack nothing, include that. That's crazy. Why would you want to do that? Now, you can also hide positive items. That means you're not hiding this stuff and on the dashboard. You're hiding it so you don't have so many content bugs. Right now, you have all these content bugs. You have 47 content bugs showing. If you do like this, now you only have the ones that are attackable, right? I don't like to use the word negative because we cannot say an item being attacked is necessarily negative. It might be an overall positive account, but it has negativity in it. Remember, Prodigy will recognize negativity on an account. It does not identify accounts as being negative. Again, Prodigy does not identify items as being negative or positive. It will identify items as having negativity or only positivities. That's it. So if no negativity is detected, then Prodigy will assume that all the data points are not negative, so they must be positive. That's an assumption. It does not mean it is. Okay, just so you know. Because you can have an item that has no late payment shown, no indicated, but maybe the late payment was 8 years ago, right? So there is some negativity in that account, but it's so old that it's not even in there, and it may not even be affecting the score. Or if the payment history only showed a 3-year history, it may not show, it show all green, because only had a 2 or 3 year history, but maybe you had a late payment, 28 months ago. So it's not showing, but there actually is a negativity in there because maybe it shows paid as agreed, but there was some late here and there. It was 30 days late or whatever, right? Just so I know what it's doing. All right. I wouldn't mess with these too much right here unless you really need to. right here is how many items that maximum to a letter. So if you pick unlimited, I think by default it selects 500. I'm gonna have my programmer rechange that to where it actually allows 500. Right now it doesn't. Right now I think it's limited to 150. So I'm going to fix that right now. But my programmer does need to make that where it does go to actual true 150. But very rarely does somebody have more than that. So that's what unlimited looks like. Okay, just so you know. If you want to limit, if you lower these numbers, that's like we did question number 2. If you lower the number, you make it more effective focus, but less efficient focus. Okay. Same thing here. Now, right here, if you want to include your images again, there's 2 places you can change that. Right here, where do you want to include the images? You want to include the identifier images? That means your driver's license proof, social security proof, and your proof of address. Do you want to include it to the bureaus, to the creditors, aka the data furnishers, or only to the audit form if you create an audit? Or you want to create all 3 of them? Some people want to do all 3 of them. Me personally, I only include it to the bureaus. If you don't want to include the bureaus, don't. But understand, if you don't do that, it will not put out your documents to them. By default, it's that way. I would leave it that way if you want to. Now, you come over here to document options. You can make your letters one-sided, two-sided, colored or black and white. You can include all images, or you can exclude all the images. Now, let's say you do not want to include images on your personal identifiers. You'll select that right there. Okay, so you're including all images except for personal identifier images. All right, if you do like this right here, you're including all images, but you're not including the personal identifier images, and you're not including public record images, but you're including images for inquiries and accounts elsewise, right? If I undo that, and I do like this right here, now I'm including images on my personal identifiers and my accounts, but I'm not including images on my inquiries or my public records, okay? Again, this includes all images. This is going to be go by default, so it may or may not include anything. So you want to include what you want to. So if you don't want to include images, then go like this. Exclude everything. Okay? If you don't want to include images. If you do want to include images, you want to have that selected. Understand? Now, the black and white is just what you want to do. This is more for the parents providers, because they're going to notice that and know what to do, right? But on your side, if you're printing on your printer may or may not listen to this, okay? So what you need to do is make sure your printer is set to do only black and white if all you want is black and white. And you need to make sure your printer is set to do 2-sided reports or printouts if you want it, regardless of what these are set. So if you have it set as one side in color here, and however you have it set here, but you have your printer set for 2-sided and have your printer set for black and white, guess what? It's going to create 2-sided black and white letters. If you have 2-sided and black and white, but your printer is set up for 1-sided and colored, it's going to create 1-sided colored letters on your printout. This is more for your PANS providers, which is your document destination right now here, right? This is more for these guys. It is not necessarily for the software itself. It used to be, but we disconnected that once we got our PANS providers. We don't want to confuse nobody. All right? If that helps you out. All right. Inquiry decisions. By default, Prodigy does not attack the best and the good. It does attack the bad inquiries. A bad inquiry, again, is the ones that are outdated or they're related to something that's being attacked already. So let's say you're attacking the Home Depot account. The Home Depot account, you're attacking it. Even if you're attacking a delinquency late, you don't want the account removed. It's going to be considered a bad inquiry. It's going to attack that item. So if you don't want to attack that Home Depot inquiry, you need to go uncheck that in the options, okay? Now, if an item is not considered to have a negativity on it, then it will be and it has an inquiry, then that inquiry is considered a good inquiry. A best inquiry is a form of a good inquiry. If you want to take a good inquiries, go ahead, right? If you select good inquiries, that means that you're attacking inquiries, don't matter if it's outdated or not, you're attacking basically every inquiry, okay? The best inquiry, if you only want to attack, I don't know why you'd want to attack the best inquiry, but if you only want to attack the best inquiry, or you want to include that, the best inquiry is the inquiry that is a good inquiry. That means it's related to an account that's positive or any other account, but it's also the inquiry that is most likely to have been the one that started that account. If you had an account started on November 1st of 2021, right? And you had an inquiry that was listed also on November 1st, 2021, the software is going to think, geez, that's probably the inquiry that started that account. It could be the inquiry that was on, say, the 27th of October. That could have been, right? But let's say you have one that's 27th of October, November 1st, and November the 2nd. It could have possibly been the second one too, but the most likely one is going to be the November 1st one, right? The software is using some logics. Does not mean it's the right one. If you don't know it's the right one, then I would just say don't attack it. Now, when can the inquiry that's dated past the opening date be the best inquiry? This is when. Sometimes an account will get approved, and then they go back and they look at it and make sure they actually want to give you credit. A lot of times, a creditor will give you an account, and then a day later or a week later, they reevaluate to make sure they want to continue you with that. And that's the first time they actually looked at your report and did a full evaluation on you. So it's that inquiry that actually got you the approval. Your application got you approved, got you the account. But the continued approval of the account, the best inquiry, will be the one that they did that evaluation on. That evaluation usually happens before or at the time the account is approved, but it does not always have to be. Okay? One example is Discover. A lot of times, Discover will give you an account, and then they will do the evaluation. All right? Now, if you want to check every inquiry, just simply have all these things marked. If you don't want to check any of them at all, select that, and nothing against no inquiries to the account at all. All right? Alternatively, you can select over here the box that says red. You can go on inquiry. You don't want to check inquiries, hit the red box on the pop-up, right? Under inquiries, and you'll want to select them either. But if you want to double it up and make damn sure, have it red for the inquiries, and come down here and make sure right here, don't check any inquiries, right? Right here, general purpose. What are the general purpose of your attack here? You want to create bureau letters only. You don't have to do this. Just remember, in Prodigy, we don't never take them away. We just keep adding things. We don't take features away because people get used to them, right? So the purpose of this attack or this evaluation is this work. The purpose of work could have been for audit only, could have been to create bureau letters only, could have been for data firms only. It could have been for everything. Okay, could have been for everything, right? That's up for you to decide, right? Could have been for everything. Again, that was mostly for when we first started software. Right now, based on your parameters you pick, it's already it's going to do that anyway. All right. And you don't have to play with that if you don't want to. This right here, as you go up, as you decrease the numbers, you make it more effective focus. As you add more numbers, it becomes more efficient focus, but less effective focus. Okay, that's on the accounts and the inquiries. Okay, the universal template. Now, right now, by default, Prodigy will always select the 3 TCRAs by default. It will select 9701 Allen, Pennsylvania, or Allen, Texas for Experian. It will select the 740256 for Equifax. It will select the Box 2000, Chester, Pennsylvania, 19016 2000 for TransUnion. Those are the defaults that Prodigy is picking as the TCRA bureaus. You can yourself go in and create these boxes at the content level if you want to, or if you want to do it for all of them, where you got to do it over and over again, you can do it one time. Just go to the top, go right here where it's the universal templates. Now, once you click this, you're told software to turn off the information. And now you've got to pick something here, even if these are selected. If you pick nothing, you may not get any letters selected. So if you go in this box at all, if you even open it up, you want to make damn sure you select the options you want. Otherwise, there's a good chance the software is like, hey, I don't know what to do, right? And you're going to choose the best options, okay? Now, I need my program to come in here and decide which one's which. Okay, so that one don't have all this out. He needs to put in here, is that the one with the 1906 and or whatever, right? So I need to get my program on that. So let me go ahead and take a picture of that. I'll take a picture of this so I can give it to him. Got a lot back in my phone. Hang on just a second, guys. My phone has face recognition. It says don't recognize my face. I'm that ugly. Oh, there it goes. It finally recognized me. All right, now I'm going to take a picture of that and send it to me programmer. Where you at, Keith? Let me message to him. Hey, Keith, this image above, that's in the universal templates and destinations where you have the Equifax and the TransUnion addresses. You don't have the city listed on those things. Please make sure you default that in there. That way, when the user's in there, if you don't have the whole thing, make sure you have it where it actually defaults, where it actually shows it, at least on scrolling it, or at least by hovering over it. That way the user knows which ones it is. Because right now, there's, for TransUnion, for example, there's two of them that's PO Box 2000. And when you hover over it, it don't say what city and what zip code. So please put the whole thing there visible. That way it's not a problem. Thank you and God bless, brother. All right, let's hope he gets that and makes those changes. All right. So I'm going to assume the top one is going to be the top one that's here, which would be that right there. Okay. But again, and if you want to choose everything, if you want every content box being attacked to go to everybody, so create a shitload of letters, but you're going to attack everybody that's on the list, okay? Everybody on the list. Now, these listings here is based on the most recent update information that Prodigy had uploaded into it, okay? Does not mean that it's exactly right. Prodigy thinks it is. We don't remove addresses. We only add, because a lot of times the Bureau will not have an address available, but then later on they will, okay? Don't know why. It's just what it is, okay? So if you don't think one's right, uncheck it, okay? Just so you know. The data person, of course, it goes by that credited content list, all right? The others, you have to type it in yourself if you do it. That's if you want to do that. And as you go see down here in the content box area, it selects everything. Now that means it's going to create all these letters for every single item. That's a shitload. So you basically just did, you're probably going to have 300 letters. You know, unless you want 300 letters, I would say not do that. But man, would it be effective. You're going to get results somehow. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and pick these right here. The first one's first to make damn sure that's what's happening. And I'm going to close it out. I think I covered all these boxes. If I didn't cover one, I do apologize and you guys get back at me. Now, if I want to exclude everything, you hit that. It excludes everything and nothing's getting attacked. Okay? And I can go into why would I want to do that? Here's why. Let's say I have a report where the client has, say, 35 negative items, but I only want to attack the inquiries. And maybe there's 6 inquiries. I would select exclude all, and then I would go down here to where it has inquiries, right here, and I would uncheck that box. Now I know that the only thing I got that's being attacked is this one inquiry. If I have another inquiry, I will go and check that as well. So in this case, another inquiry, 7, box 7. I would exclude it or unexclude it. Same thing with these other boxes here, which is number 4. And all I'm doing now is unchecking the exclude box. That way it does include those on attacks. That was box 4. Let's go to box 5. I believe I did box 7 already. So let's go to box 8 now. Going to box 8. So now, if I go back to the top, I know that I'm not attacking nothing here. Now, no matter what my parameters are here, I'm not letting the software generate any letters except for my Prodigy letters. Okay, just so you know. Now, I would do that if I'm sending it to the PANS provider. They're going to print out what you send them. But if I know I have a client that only wants to inquires, what I personally would do would be to include everything. I would include everything, and then I would only just print out the letters for whatever, right, for my inquiries to mail off. Why would I do that? That way I have those letters, the other letters that I have that's created for the other items, I have them in the work area. So the user or the consumer later on changes their mind, I can always go get those letters already. I ain't got to buy another GA. It's already there, right? Just a mindset. All right, I believe that's pretty much it on that part, except for the generate. Now, what does these things down here mean? Okay, I've already described that. If you want to mark an item not to be attacked, you mark it as positive, it won't be attacked, or just exclude it up here, or remove the templates. Either way it goes, you're good to go. Okay? Anything that's marked positive, you should see where it shows it as showing not negative positive count. That's not saying that Prodigy thinks it's not negative. That means we couldn't find any data points that are marked not negative, or there was nothing that you wanted, and we're going to consider that. And the only thing that would be included on it would be the audit analysis of our document. It's the only thing that the item will be included on. If you would choose that, you may not. All right. And if you unclick it, it goes back to what Prodigy thinks is the best tech for that. Okay. Now you can always change that. Like for instance, here's a personal identifier thing. I would not change it, but you could if you want to. Maybe you want to tag it as a general. By all means, that's what you want to do. By all means, do it. Now it's going to create a letter that's going to be called it's going to give you a base letter. That could be a TSW. It could be a WWRD. It could be a NAA. It could be a PIL. It could be a STSW. It could be a SWWRD attack. It could be a SPIL. It could be a SAAF. It could be a SNAA. It could be any of the peak attacks. There's 11 versions of them. It could be any of the 20 PMON attacks. Or it could be any advanced version of those attacks. Or it could be any advanced versions or epic versions of those attacks as well. Or it could be also Sika. All those things. Now, I'll take it back. It cannot be any of the PMON attacks. It could be any of the PMON attacks that are universally applicable, such as PMON 1 and PMON 2. Or 20, I mean. PMON and PMON 20 could be. PMON 2 through PMON 19 are all specific located. They're specifically for certain things. So those are specified are more effective focus of letters. It wouldn't choose one of those as options if you chose this, okay? Other attacks that are specific focus would be the PALS 2 inquiries letter. It is specifically for inquiries, okay? It's not made to attack, say, public records or person identifiers or whatever, right? It might have an attack, a general attack for those things, but it wouldn't be aimed for that leverage, okay? Just so you know. Same thing with the SWWRD attacks. The SWWRD attacks, they have a general letter, they have medicals, they have inquiries, public records, repos, etc., etc. Based on which negativity you select, it's going to be a specific attack for that. That is not to say it won't attack all the other items. It absolutely will. And it may actually work. But that particular attack was designed to leverage that particular negativity as a primary. Now, a primary negativity is the strongest negativity in an account. For example, let's say you have an account that is a repossession, okay? A repossession is the same thing as a vehicle collection and or a vehicle repossession, okay? Anytime you have a collection or repossession, you likely had derogatory lates. I mean, you likely had more than 3 lates, right? You also likely had a situation of a delinquency late at one point. That means you had at least 1 late, at least 1 or 2 lates, right? And you might have had a past due account at some point. So you had a other derogatory situation. So you literally could attack a repossession in any of these ways. The primary would be attacking it as a repossession, right? That's the primary. The next primary would be attacking it as a charge-off. The third primary would be attacking it as a vehicle charge-off. The next priority would be attacking it as a vehicle collection. Again, they're all almost the same. You know, they're attacked by different leverage points, but they're essentially the same. But there is different leverage points on them. You can also attack it as a derogatory late, right? You can attack it as a delinquency late, and you can attack it as a other generalized derogatory or delinquency. Now, you want to attack it in that order. You want to go from the strongest argument to the least strongest argument, okay? If you're unsure, you just select the general and be done with it. That way you know it applies. What you don't want to do is attack something as a repossession and then not be a repossession, right? Like, for example, a student loan charge off. I would attack it as a student loan charge off, and then I would attack it as a second backup as a charge off, and then I would attack it as a collection, right? And then I would attack it as a derogatory late for student loans, and then a regular derogatory late, and then as a student loan delinquency late, and then as a regular delinquency late, and then as a student loan other, and then as a regular other. So there's a lot of parameters there. But I would go in order of the attack. You ain't gotta worry about thinking about that. Prodigy will do that automatically for you, okay? Now, if you have attacks already created for this client, let's say you had done the MPC attack 1 already, and it attacked something as a repo, right? The next time you do attack, it's going to attack the repo again, but it's likely going to do the leverage points as a vehicular collection, right? It's going to show it as a repo, but the language and terminology is going to be aiming for a vehicle because you've already done it as a repossession. Now you're going to be looking at it as a vehicle car charge-off. You're going to say, boy, it's the same thing. Oh, it is, but it isn't. It's too much to explain right now. But the software knows because it knows it's in your Epic work area, okay? It knows that the client already had that attack done. It already has that smart technology, and it knows that already. Now, if you go to the Epic work area, or you go into your work area and you delete that file, now that file is not on record, it probably don't know it exists. So now when you go do your attack 2, probably don't know you did attack 1. So probably going to attack it exactly what you say, or it's going to attack it as attack 1 only. Because it needs to build, it probably knows it needs to build the leverage up. So if it's the first time attacking it by what Prodigy thinks, it's going to attack it by the highest priority unless you override it. Why you would override it, I have no idea. I don't know. This is still recording. I hope it is. I'll be mad as hell if it ain't recording still. Well, geez, I don't know if I Oh, I am. Okay. Woo! I was getting scared there. I thought I did all this without doing anything. I apologize, guys. All right, I'm gonna close it out and put it out there, and I'm gonna see if I get somebody to edit this for me because I did a lot of mess up there, and if so, we'll post it out. Have a great day.